One house investment breakdown, 19.67% return on investment, $1,120 per month cash flow income for life, plus an additional $1,400 a month on average in additional revenue. In this video, I'm going to show you the real estate deal one of our investors, we call them our heroes, bought today, and how much it cost and how much he's likely to earn on it over the balance of his lifetime and his kids' lives and their kids and on and on. He's part of a very small group of people I'm working with to build their own $1 million portfolios. These are people who we've handpicked, people that Ozan Mayo, my partner on this program, and I personally approved. These are people who came to us and asked us to build their portfolio. They're people who fit my criteria. And here's the criteria of the people who we approve. One, they have some cash to invest, a minimum of $100,000. We may be raising that minimum soon. They have a FICO score that exceeds 700 plus. Basically, I want to work in this portfolio building program only with accredited investors. 3, they want to build a passive income stream of $10,000 or more per month that'll feed them for the rest of their lives. 4, they have goals I can get behind. We only change our behavior when not changing behavior is too painful. I want to know that you need to change some outcome in your life. If you don't have a compelling goal, you likely won't even read this entire letter. But if you have a high quality goal, then you'll immediately know that this program can help you get there, and you'll comb through every word. The amount of work my team and I are doing is unreal, and I need to know that you have a worthwhile goal that we're getting behind. I believe your commitment is only as strong as your goal. And 5, they understand that in real estate investing, if you wait, you will win. This program is a long-term strategy. We call it GRS, Get Rich Slow. If you want to do it fast, that's possible too. You should get into my 6-month personal mentor program. I'll show you how to build wealth fast without using cash or credit. You can find out more at zerodowninvesting.com. But in that program, you have to do stuff. It's active investing. What I'm doing here with this investor deal I'm about to show you is passive investing. You don't have to do anything. We do everything for you. We call our investors heroes, by the way, because that's exactly what they are to us. We know what kind of guts it takes to step outside conventional wisdom. We know what it means to be entrepreneurial and to take the road less traveled. We know what it means to aspire to more than ordinary. It takes a hero to do those things. And we find that most of our heroes are also heroes in their own lives, quietly doing good in the world in whatever way they can, quietly overcoming the odds to achieve the successes they've achieved in order to be a part of our program. That's one of the reasons we want to work with them, and we're proud of them. So let me tell you about the property we bought for one of our heroes today. I think the numbers are going to blow you away. And remember, my team and I are doing all the work for him. He just has to come up with some cash and sign on the dotted line. I've been teaching investors and helping investors build portfolios for more than 30 years. Ozan and I have made more millionaires in real estate over the past 20 to 30 years than anyone I know, and we can prove it. I've had lots of students over the years make $100,000 a month and well beyond that. A couple hundred of them even allowed us to interview them about their successes. You can watch those videos at jo4.co/case study. There's also something I discovered. There's 2 types of investors. One, those who make a pile of money regularly for a while and then go back to zero income when they stop doing the work. And 2, those who keep making money for the rest of their lives, even after they stop doing the work, and become part of the top 1%. Long-term, sustainable income that'll never go away. Generational wealth. The ones that accomplish number 2 all have one thing in common: equity. That's the first secret to getting to the top 1% of income earners in the world and staying there. Equity. The other secret is production. Put those two together and it creates passive income, long-term, sustainable passive income, generational wealth that allows you to cross over and enter the top 1% of income earners and never have to worry about regular income again. So here's the secret formula. Everyone should know this. Passive income equals equity times production. The GRS, the Get Rich Slow program, is a way to do nothing and use the leverage of time and my team together with your money to create 5 times your current equity. It allows you to invest $100,000 and buy nearly $500,000 worth of property in a few short months, or $200,000 and buy $1 million in equity. It allows you to invest $100,000 and get more than 30% a year on it forever. Do you know of any other passive income stream that'll generate those kinds of returns? Of course not, because they don't exist. And please, listen to this next part very carefully. Do you know of any investment that allows you to pull out money every month while the asset continues to grow? With any other passive investment like stocks, bonds, index funds, mutual funds, REITs, when you pull out money from your account, your assets stop growing. If all you pull out is income, the principal will stay stable, but it'll stop growing. If you pull out your principal, your income will go down, your account will diminish in value, and your return on investment will eventually drop to zero. If you leave your money in stocks, bonds, REITs, whatever, they're going to grow over time, and that's great. Just don't expect it to keep growing when you want to pull out that income to live on. That's the big difference with real estate investments. The real estate portfolios we're building, you can pull out the income and your asset base will continue to grow and appreciate over time. You can even refinance it and pull out the principal and it'll still pay for itself and continue to grow. And if you do it that way, you won't even have to pay taxes on the money you pull out. You get income and appreciation at the same time. What other investment will allow you to do that? Okay, let's talk about the property that we bought for one of our heroes today. I told you I'd get around to it eventually. We are in the process of building a multi-million-dollar portfolio for him, and if all goes as planned, we should accomplish this within a year or less. So back to the house we're adding to our investor's portfolio. The property cost $155,000. He's paying all cash for this house. He may eventually refinance the property and pull his cash out in order to leverage into 5 times as many properties, but for now he's opted for the monthly income. That's his choice. Most of our heroes are leveraging their money so they can control more property. I'll show you how that will work on this property in a minute. But on his deal, we negotiated our best price and we got the seller to pay $5,000 the seller's cost to purchase the property, reducing his cash into the deal and increasing his return on investment. This is a 1% house. If you don't know what 1% houses are, go to this video for an explanation. Essentially, it means that it will rent for 1% of the total value. Go to jr4.co, done for you. In this case, it'll rent for approximately $1,500 a month. From that income, subtract taxes, insurance, property manager, about $380 a month. That leaves a positive cash flow of $1,120 per month times 12 months, $13,440 per year net operating income. That's 8.67% cash on cash return on his $155,000 cash investment. Not a bad return considering it's not at all leveraged. By the way, if you don't leverage your investment, you don't get the same kind of return, but it becomes extremely safe. Free and clear properties are just about the safest investment in the world. But monthly cash flow isn't the only income this investment will return. You also get depreciation. I've explained depreciation in my other videos, so I'll just say here that it works out to about 1% additional cash return on the purchase price of the home. So if you're paying all cash, it's giving you a 1% increase on your annual return on investment. If you put 20% down and finance the rest of the home, you increase that return on your money by 5 times. So in that case, an additional 5% for depreciation spread over 5 properties. You also get appreciation on your investment. Over the last 30 years, property values have increased in Indianapolis over 300%, more than 100% every 10 years. And that's even figuring in the 2008 crash. That means historically, the value of your long-term investment property doubles every 10 years. So 100% divided by 10 years equals 10%. This adds 10% to your annual net return on investment. That puts your annual return on an all-cash purchase at 8.67% cash return. That's your rental income, 1% IRS tax depreciation, and 10% per year appreciation in value. That's a total of 19.67% return. And this is if you pay all cash. If you leverage the deal and put only 20% down, you can buy 5 times as many properties and your returns will be spectacular. Let's look at the annual return on investment when you leverage and make payments on a mortgage. The property has an 8.67% cash on cash return if you pay all cash. Let's look at the leverage if it's 5 times that, using 20% down on with an 80% loan. And this is what your return looks like at first glance. And it's wrong, actually, because of leverage and the value of money over time. Don't worry, I'll explain the details. 20% down payment on $155,000 is $31,000 investment plus 5% closing costs for the loan approximately. So $77,50. So that's a total of $38,750 total investment. Annual net income after expenses, see the above breakdown I just talked about, $13,440. Mortgage amount, $150,000 times 80%, $124,000 mortgage amount. So a 30-year amortized 9.5% interest DSCR loan of will equal $1,043 a month. Multiply that by 12 months and you get $12,516 as your annual cost. This is where things start to get confusing and go off track a little bit. Your cash on cash return is $13,440 minus the $12,516 debt service and expenses you pay on the property. That leaves $924 a month income. Divide that by the $38,750 total investment that you made, and that equals 2.38% immediate cash on cash return. You also get principal buy down on the loan, which is approximately $800 annually in the first few years. It goes up over time. So 2% return on that. Then add in 1% IRS depreciation and 10% appreciation, and that's an apparent total of 15.38% annually, but it does not take into account leverage and the value of money over time. The actual return on a leveraged investment is substantially different. Let me break down the math. If you leverage it 5 times by putting down 20%, 5 times 20% equals 100%, you get 5 times 8.67%. Which is 43.35%. Remember, the 8.67 is the actual return on an all-cash investment on this property. Then add these 2 other streams of income, 1% tax depreciation, 10% appreciation on the value. So the real return on a 5x leveraged purchase is a total of 54.35%. The income from your property will go to paying off your loan, but you're controlling 5 times as much real estate for the same investment. So you get all the benefits of that leverage, and it pays off your loan, and you get the appreciation on 5 times as much property. The tenant is paying your mortgage for you. So the big question is, how fast will it pay off your loan so you can start getting monthly income? If you have an 80% mortgage at $124,000 at 9.5% interest amortized over 30 years, your principal and interest payment will be $1043 P&I. Taxes, $180, insurance, $50, property management, $150, total expenses, $1,423 a month. That leaves you with $77 per month to apply towards the principal. If you don't add any money to the payment from your pocket except that $77 each month, your 30-year mortgage will pay off in 20 years. But there's no reason it should take 20 years, even if you don't add a dime out of your pocket to the monthly payment. Let me show you why. Your property manager will increase your rents by 5% every year automatically, assuming you have a good property manager. So $1,500 goes to $1,575 in 1 year, $1,625 the year after, $1,700 the year after, and so on. If you increase your monthly payment on the loan over time, just from the rent increase, without taking anything out of your pocket, you'll pay off your loan in about 12 years. But we want you to own it even faster than that. We're going to sell your property to a lease option buyer to make you more money and pay it off faster. Lease option buyers are the best. They consider themselves owners rather than renters. And you've heard the old saying, you don't wash a rental car. We make them a buyer because it makes them more likely to take better care of the property. It also makes them responsible for the repairs on the property. It's in our rather brilliant contract. We raise the price when we sell the house, so there's profit to you above what you paid for it, and the lease option buyer will pay a non-refundable lease option fee, half in cash, which goes to cover the cost of finding, qualifying, and assisting the buyer, and half in payments from the buyer, which goes to you directly, so you can pay down your loan and build equity faster. That should add an additional $200 to $300 a month of income that will be paid monthly by the buyer as down payment assistance. This is paid in addition to the rent. If you add that $200 a month to your payment, your 30-year loan will pay off in about 9 years. Are you starting to see how powerful an investment structured like this can be? On top of the loan paying off, your property historically has nearly doubled in that period of time. So you receive another $150,000 or so in equity if appreciation stays true to form. There are other ways to pay off your mortgage faster. I'll talk about those in future videos. But this guaranteed method is built right into our system, and you don't have to do a thing to make it happen. So our hero, our investor, paid cash for this property because he wanted the income now. Instead of doing all cash, he could buy 5 properties like this for the exact same investment and jump his return on investment from about 19.67% annually to 54.35% annually. I know these numbers are blowing your mind and hard to believe, but it's just math. There are no big leaps of logic here, just straightforward calculations. And if that's true, why doesn't everyone do it? Here's the secret. Just because you invest in houses doesn't mean you are going to make this kind of money. Most investors screw it up. If you Google the term turnkey real estate investing, you'll find real estate investors across the country trying to sell houses that they help you buy, get rent ready, rent out for you, and manage for you. There are even under market value wholesalers right now in Indiana doing it. Some of these turnkey sellers are skilled investors with tons of experience and great portfolios of their own. So what's the problem with them? Well, that's why I came up with this program. They pretty much all suck. I know that's not a gentlemanly thing to say, and I know it sounds kind of harsh, but if you give me a second, I can prove it. And honestly, I think you deserve to know. Here's the thing. I don't need to do any of this. If Ozam and I never work with another investor or do another deal, I hate to brag, but we'll be fine. Better than fine, actually, and much better than I deserve. I know I don't deserve this, and I know how lucky I am, and I'm so grateful. And because of the gift I've been given in my life, I know it comes with great responsibility to pass on that knowledge and that luck and make other people lucky. That's the, kind of the point in life, right? I mean, whatever you were blessed enough to achieve, And I know some of you successful dudes think that you did it yourself, but you didn't. Our society, our parents, all the shoulders you stand on made your success possible. But because of that gift, you have a moral obligation to send the ladder back down for those behind you. That's kind of the only way the world gets any better, people helping people. If your strategy is to build a society where you pull up the ladder behind you after you succeed so nobody can compete with you, well, yeah, then you kind of suck. So we try not to do that. We try not to suck. And I know most of you aspire to the same thing. And one of the things I want you to understand is that doing what I suggest isn't just about any rental house or any rental property. If that were the case, you wouldn't need a turnkey investor and teacher like me to help you do it. You could just go out and buy any property and make millions. Everybody would do it. All you have to do is look at the math I just showed you to know that you should have started doing this stuff years ago. Why did I wait so long? The best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Stop beating yourself up and start investing today. We help you build a portfolio and create passive income with Midwest real estate, specifically right here in Indiana. Each house you buy makes you $1,000 a month or more forever, eventually. The goal is to make at least $10,000 to $30,000 per month in 8 to 15 years when your mortgage is paid off. Doing deals like this helps sustain our business, but we don't make our money doing these deals with you. The reason we're doing this is mainly to pay our team and build the volume of our real estate business. By buying houses in volume, it helps us compete in the marketplace with the hedge funds. I know that might seem counterintuitive, but there is a method to our madness. Right now, the richest, most powerful people in the world have determined that the single most profitable asset class to invest in is single-family homes, specifically ones in the Midwest and definitely in Indiana. Bezos, Musk, Gates, BlackRock, they're obsessed with these homes and will pay almost anything to get them because they know these properties are no-brainers over time. It's what has been driving the real estate prices in this country. They play the long passive income game well. That's why 20% of all single-family home sales in America over the past 4 years have been to investors and hedge funds like these. Warren Buffett, who owns one of the biggest realty companies in the world, Berkshire Hathaway, knows that single-family houses are good investments for billionaires like him. And he says, rule number 1 for investors, don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. He knows that single-family houses are a safe investment, or he wouldn't be buying them. A safe investment in single-family homes is a great investment that'll make you money over time. If you wait, you will win. Our company is tiny compared to these guys, but we have a secret sauce formula for safe houses with 5 criteria. I'm going to teach them to you in a minute. These 5 criteria make it possible for us to compete with those titans and win, simply because we can do what they cannot. We're agile and robust, and we've got boots on the ground. We can identify, build relationships with sellers, and swoop in and pick up the very best properties, enhance our investment efficiency, and engineer the highest possible return on investment for everyone in our group. That's why we can buy the right houses, safe houses, 1% houses at or above market value and still make 30 to 50% annually. We've made hundreds of videos of real-life deals and have thousands of pages of real-life success stories. When you buy the right house at or even above market value, sometimes we have to pay a realtor, a wholesaler, a scout, or someone else on the team. We built those costs into our system, so most or all of them are covered by the seller or the new lease option buyer. That way, they're less likely to require cash from you. It makes sense to pay a premium to get a regular stream of good deals because we know if you wait, you'll win. This is a long-term hold strategy. GRS, get rich slow. Everything is designed to leverage your investment safely and then pay off that leverage as quickly as possible so you can get that $1,000 per month of forever cash. This is one of our secret weapons to compete against the hedge funds and Wall Street guys. They can't touch our return on investment. Just look at the REITs out there. The first few years of a 30-year mortgage is the poison period, where most of your mortgage payment, 90% plus, is interest, and it goes right into the lender's pocket. That's why lenders will do anything to get you to refinance in those first years. That's also why you want every bit of cash you can earn thrown at the principal on that mortgage. That's why we do lease option sales, so you can get that extra monthly income from the down payment assistance program that we set up with the buyer. We do lease options on yours and our properties so you can spend less time managing and more paying down the mortgage during that poison period. Our team follows our checklist. They know exactly what needs to be done and how to do it. I'll give you the overview of those pillars of that checklist next. When our team fills a property, they usually take the full down payment as their fee. But with this program, with our portfolio program, we negotiated a better deal for you, and it only costs half of that. We cut them because we want the other half to go to you in the form of monthly payments from the buyer over the next 3 years, usually $200 to $300 per month. This will allow you to apply those funds to the principal on your mortgage. Genius, right? We thought so. The best way to succeed is by working with someone who understands the 5 pillars of safe houses. Safe houses are what we call the houses you buy for long-term generational wealth. The houses you buy to create a financial safe haven for yourself and your loved ones, now and for generations to come. When we work with our heroes and create for them a multi-million-dollar foundation of homes that eventually pay off and provide for them monthly income of $10,000, $30,000, $50,000 or more every month forever, we almost always hear the same thing from us. They tell us there's nothing like the feeling of safety these houses bring to us. Knowing that income will be there for me and my kids and their kids after them is like a giant weight lifted off my shoulders. I no longer have to worry about losing my job or becoming disabled or even dying. I know they'll be cared for. I know they will live well. I know that the money not only keeps coming in, it actually grows as a hedge against inflation as rents grow. And my kids can completely screw it up as long as they don't sell, because it's equity and production all rolled up into one, working for them while they sleep. I once heard it said, be the ancestor you wish you had. Be the one who moves your family up the ladder. Be the one they remember. Be the one when those checks come into your heirs from your investments every month, from the investments you made today, they take a moment and remember you and silently thank you and bless you for your love, your industry, and your foresight. You are their epic ancestor. Be the one they want to emulate. Be the change you want to see in the world for them. You need safe houses, 1% properties that will produce the necessary passive income on the target equity. When done correctly, a safe house will make you and the generations that come after you at least $1,000 per month forever. Use our worksheet and do the math with how much forever income you want, and know for sure it can be done. It's just math. If this is all true, why don't you ever see success stories like this anywhere? I'll cover that in a second, but first, let's talk about the safe house pillars. Safe house pillar number 1, the passive income formula. You need to know this by heart. Passive income equals equity times production. This simple math formula makes it possible to understand in one sentence how to make $5,000 a week or $10,000 or $20,000. You have to know what you're trying to accomplish. Otherwise, you're just investing without a goal. Know where you're going and the path will open up before you. That's why we ask you to fill out the worksheet. It shows you exactly how many assets you need to achieve your monthly income goals. You can go to jr4.co/worksheet to download this worksheet. As simple as it is, almost nobody gets this formula or the math, and it's why they don't understand the second pillar, safe house financing. If you're going to leverage your money safely and efficiently, you have to get the right loan product that allows for the best combination of down payment, monthly payment, and rent to debt ratio for the best outcome. This can be complicated and requires a deep understanding of debt versus equity, of long-term tax benefits, of asset protection and passive income protection, of retirement accounts, of everything you need to know in order to run a successful business. You need to understand the relationship between profits and down payments, between points and interest rates, between closing costs and prepaids, between DSCR loans, hard money loans, private money loans, banks, credit unions, and finance companies. It's a massive amount of data, but it's all important. If you screw up any of these things, it'll cost you money, sometimes creating a catastrophic loss. Do you know anybody who's lost everything in real estate? I sure do. You can read my story. If you don't know these things, you better find someone who does, someone who has your best interest at heart, someone who has your back. Safe House Pillar 3, Safe House Forever Tenants. Every investor is afraid of getting bad tenants, and you should be afraid. If you don't have good management, if your management team doesn't have the right SOPs and policies, if they don't adhere to ethical practices and fair housing, if they don't treat their tenants with the respect they deserve, if they don't have masterful bookkeeping, oh Lord, I could talk about the importance of bookkeeping for hours and all the ways we've screwed it up over the years. Don't start from scratch. Learn from our mistakes. Don't screw this up. Find management who have a deep reservoir of knowledge about how to find, care for, and nurture tenants. Learn how to find tenants who will bring you the highest return on investment. It's a science, and it can be taught, and it can be learned. Make sure your management team knows what they're doing. The management company we're using here in Indiana for this program was trained by me many years ago. The owner came through my mentor program like nearly everyone who works and partners directly with me. Her name is Pam Madsen, and she and her company manages my personal Indiana portfolio, and she's been doing it for nearly 25 years. When I frequently say that I haven't been to see many of my houses for more than a decade, I can only say that because of Pam. I trust her like family, and I'm deeply grateful for all the work she does. When I brought her into this program to serve my heroes, our investors, she said to me, "Well, Joe, I guess we're not retiring anytime soon." And then we laughed together and talked about how excited we were to be building millionaires again in this new program. We've done it before so many times, and we're doing it again. That brings us to Safe House Pillar number 4, Safe House Forever Management. This is huge. As a property manager, you'll always repair a property differently if you're planning on keeping it forever than if you just want to keep a client happy for now, since they can dump you as the management company without any notice. We don't do that. When we fix a problem on a property, our goal is to fix it forever. And yes, this sometimes takes more money, but over time, it costs you less. Don't be a slumlord. Find property management who will take pride in your properties and make your communities better, not worse. People complain about too many rental properties in a neighborhood, but our goal is to have the nicest, best kept properties in the area. My question is always, would I live there? If the answer is yes, I know we're doing something right. Safe House Pillar 5. This is the big one. This is the one pillar that rules them all. Safe house outcomes. If you screw up even one of these pillars, the entire thing goes belly up. But if you don't have this one, anyone can see, as plain as the nose on my face, that you don't know what you're doing. Remember, this process of building and holding real estate is a symphony. Even one drunk in the violin section ruins it all. That's why you don't see other companies like ours producing great results. They might be good at sales or great at finding properties, or maybe they're nice people and you'd enjoy hanging out with them or having a beer. But they don't understand these pillars and how important they are. And because of that, they don't have successful outcomes for their investors. They might have 4 or 5 or maybe even 10 or 20 testimonials on their websites. 10 or 20 is very rare, by the way. We have hundreds of successful investors, our heroes, and we interviewed many of them on video and asked them to tell us the good and the bad and the ugly. We asked them what worked and what didn't, what advice they would give to others who wanted to accomplish the same things. We told them it's okay to be critical. We know we make mistakes too. But one thing I think you'll find by watching them, they're all excited. They have all had a life-changing experience. You can see the excitement in their eyes and hear it in their voices. They make me so proud of them. You can read and watch some of these videos at jr4.co/case study. I challenge you to find a page like this on any other turnkey company's website, on any other teacher's website. They just don't exist. They don't have a tiny fraction of the happy customers and clients we have. It's all about outcomes. Remember earlier when I said I can prove all the other turnkey companies selling and managing properties suck? This is the proof. They don't have any proven outcomes. The outcome is all that matters here. With so many turnkey operations, so many wholesalers, bird dogs, investment gurus, realtors, YouTube influencers, what do you not ever see? Outcomes. Period. Mic drop. That's what's missing in this industry. And that's why I'm doing this. Many of these companies are just outright toxic and inept. I even know some of them who have gone to jail for mishandling their clients' money. I can sit here and tell you what they should do. I can teach them how to do it. Some of them have been through my training. I can teach them why they should be ethical, but I can't make them act that way. I've been trying to do that since I started teaching real estate back in 1998. Look at their outcomes. If you find somebody who's using these five pillars effectively, please let me know. I'll be their best client and student. So work with the people who understand these 5 pillars. Number 1, the Safe House passive income formula. They can break down exactly what success is in one sentence. For example, $1,000 of passive income per month per Safe House forever. Number 2, Safe House financing. How to pay off rentals at light speed. How, why, risks, benefits. Number 3, Safe House tenants. How to position your properties and your company for the best results and relations. Number 4, Safe House management. We have a construction company and fully fix things. Do they? Number 5, Safe House outcomes. This is the most important, the key to know how to judge any company. Do they even have them? Do you really need to find someone who implements all these pillars? No. Just like you don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You only need a parachute to skydive twice. That's why other investment companies can't produce proof of specific outcomes for their investor buyers. Too many of their people fell flat. I'll have my full passive income quiz in the next email I send you, but for now, please make sure you ask yourself these 3 questions about any investment team, turnkey investor or wholesaler or any other investment option you might look at. A, what is the definition of success in one sentence? B, can I see their people achieving that exact definition of success? C, what is the exact criteria that makes their approach so different? That last one is kind of funny, right? If our approach is such a secret, then why are we telling people? Well, that's just it. We've been teaching this for decades, and I know almost nobody has the work ethic, the dedication, and care for their clients to put these 5 principles into practice. How else can you explain our success stories compared to theirs? How we can work together. So you like the numbers, you like the strategy, you like the risk profile, you like the upside and understand the downside. The only problem is that you'd like someone who's done it before to be by your side. Some of you just want someone to do it for you. You don't want to spend months or years learning all the techniques I've learned over the past 35 years. You're busy at your other job. You're busy in your life. You've got some money to invest in good credit. You know you need a better investment vehicle for your retirement, but you just don't have the time to learn and implement a strategy like this. If that's you, we can do it for you. In order to qualify, you need to be an accredited investor. According to the SEC, an accredited investor is anyone who has earned income of more than $200,000 annually or has a net worth over $1 million. We also ask that you have a minimum of $100,000 to invest in real estate and a FICO score above 700. By the way, you don't have to have that money in the bank. If you have a cash value whole life insurance policy that you can borrow the funds against, or if you have a HELOC, a home equity line of credit on your home, you can borrow against your house. I've done this personally with my house. I hate to leave all that money sitting and doing nothing. If you have the funds to invest, I'll help you find, rehab, and manage a profitable cash-generating portfolio that'll pay for itself over time and create at least $1,000 per property per month forever. We'll build you a portfolio of investment properties right here in my hometown of Indiana. We'll find them for you, fix them up as needed, fill them with paying lease option tenants, and place them with professional management. You'll keep them for as long as you want, forever if you listen to me. My philosophy, never sell. If you need cash, refinance instead. If you need cash for whatever reason above the income of the properties you're generating, you can refinance instead of selling. You don't have to pay capital gains on a cash out refinance, and your tenants can make your payments. As soon as you sell, you lose a cash producing asset and you have to pay taxes on the gain. Keep your properties. We'll set you up so eventually you have long-term passive income of $1,000 to $2,000 per property per month. The next step, submit your application to work with us. If you're interested in becoming one of our heroes, please fill out the worksheet and email it to us at joecrump@joecrump.com. Download the worksheet at jr4.co/worksheet. We will call you to answer your questions and ask a few of our own. We want to make sure this program is right for you. We want your experience with our company to be compatible and fruitful. I want you to know up front that this program is not right for everyone. Even if you have the cash, we'll look at your situation and be honest with you about whether or not we feel we can help you. After we get off the phone with you, Azam and I will sit down and discuss it and make the decision to approve you as one of our investors. We don't take very many, and we look at each one individually. If we don't think it'll work, we'll thank you for your time and interest, and if you want, make some suggestions on what we think your best path forward should be. If we approve you, we'll ask you to sign an agreement and disclosure. That document includes information about the risks of these kinds of investments and what your costs will be. We'll also ask you to put up $1,000 as a deposit on your first property. The agreement has a place on it for you to authorize us to debit those funds. Once that's done, we'll identify your first investment property and make an offer on it for you. We'll handle everything. All you'll have to do is sign the documents when we're ready, pay for the inspection and appraisal, and come up with the balance of the cash at closing, usually within 30 days. We prefer to do just one property at the beginning of our relationship to make sure everything goes smoothly. After that, if everyone's happy, we can do more than one at a time, depending on how fast you want to grow. In the past, we've built portfolios very quickly. Our goal is to listen to you and help you achieve your dream of building a long-term passive investment portfolio. I want to say just one more thing, and I don't mean to get all philosophical, but making millionaires has been my life's work. It's been my ongoing purpose for almost 3 decades. If you're one of those millionaires and you're watching this, I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of your life and for trusting me to either teach you how to do it or to do it for you. If you're someone who aspires to be my next millionaire, if I work with you, I want you to ask yourself what you plan to do with this newfound wealth. Who will you benefit? What will you accomplish? What will you create? Who do you help launch into the world? How will the next generation be better because of what we do for you today? All those things are important to me. But let's face it, I'm here to get rich. I wouldn't do this if I weren't getting rich. Yeah, it's great to make millionaires. That's a perk that makes me feel really good about what we do. Yeah, it's great to see people create generational wealth and have a pile to pass on along to their kids. It's amazing to transform lives. I absolutely love that. When I help people create an extra $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month of income in a few short years out of nothing, when I see that simply because I used my 35 years of experience as a real estate investor and created a team that helped them put together a package of assets using our equity times production formula, and when I see that all this happened because I helped them leverage their equity so that it created regular, sustainable, massive production, well, to me, that's absolute magic. If you win, I win. It's like they say, do well, doing good. I'll make 10 or 15 millionaires this year. Maybe you'll decide to be one of them. And maybe I won't make a killing on each deal. They're a little skinny, to be honest with you. I'm used to making a much bigger payday on every property I buy and sell. But I don't have to make very much from each deal to make it attractive. In fact, I won't do deals at all if I don't make you rich. Not because I don't want to, but because nobody will work with me. Investors aren't stupid. They can do the math. The last 35 years have taught me the value of Indiana houses. All I have to do is look at my existing portfolio to know it's a good model. My Indiana houses have gone up more than 300% over those years in a very conservative, stable market, and they've given me great income while they did it. I don't have the same problem you have. You have to count on somebody else to help you invest because you're so busy doing what you do to make a living. You have to trust someone or multiple someones, and you don't really know who to trust. I get it. You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to spread out your risk in case you accidentally trust the wrong person. Even if I'm an honest guy, it's possible that I'm just wrong. After all, maybe people will want to stop living in houses in the future. But I don't think that's going to happen. And the older I get, the more optimistic I get. When I was a kid, we were doing duck and cover exercises in my first grade class. We knew that nuclear war was coming. Put your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye. But we're still here. And that makes me optimistic that maybe we'll make it through this mess we find ourselves in today. And if we do, I want to live well and provide a good life for the ones I love. I want to give back to my community and maybe even be one of the reasons we made it through the tough times. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. I just want to tell you, don't be afraid. Take the bull by the horns. Take action on the obvious paths forward. They can be scary sometimes, but sometimes you have to stand up and face your fear before you can fly. If you want to work with us, fill out and send in the worksheet, and let's get you going. Go to jr4.co/worksheet. All right. Thanks a lot. Good luck to you.